what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today is Women Rock Wednesday, my favorite day of the week. And my woman that rocks, other than the women in the boom boom room, is Nicole Hannah Jones, that beautiful young lady behind me. Oh, the boss move making lady. Oh, you know I got more about her. You know I got more about it. But it's Women Rock Wednesday. And to people who new to this to the Chop Shop, sometimes you might not know. Let me tell you something. Women rock on this show every day. Let's get that straight. But we like to just have a day. We used to have Tanya Sampson, T Buckets on the show on Wednesday. She used to come on Wednesday, so we used to always call it Women Rock Wednesday because she was she was a woman of presence every Wednesday. So, and we just decided to keep it, even though she went off, started a family, got 2 kids, and married to one of the best coaches, and best coaches in the country, Kellen Sampson. So, shout out to the women, especially you women, all women, but especially you women that have been supporting the Chop Shop, man. I just want to let y'all know I'm grateful for you. Thank God for you. I pray for you. I watch you, like Sonia Billingsley is on vacation, and I'm watching her and interacting with her. Mindy was on a vacation. I mean, I just want to let y'all know, man, it's not, we don't take you for granted. The men either, we don't take you for granted, but I'm just so proud of women. Y'all got to understand, I got 5 sisters and a daughter. And let me tell you something. Women has played a major, 5 brothers too, but women has played a major part in the development of me. Like I told y'all, my daughter, she came on the show. Without her, wouldn't be, I don't know what I'd be doing. I told y'all, I was just doing it. I was cool. I wasn't crazy and wilding out and doing nothing to go to jail, but I didn't have no direction and no purpose. Like what the Commodores? I didn't have no direction and no purpose. But when I saw that little girl's eyes, everything changed. Robert, it ain't just you no more. You got to think about her. She didn't ask to be here. You were responsible for helping create her. So, everybody know I talk about my son. I love him, but my daughter saved my life. I had a purpose. I understood my potential because I know I had to be great in order for her to be great. So happy Women Rock Wednesday to everybody. Shout out to I'll do that later. Let me talk to my let me see my starting 5 women first. Let me talk to them first. Mindy Collins, Jessica Brooks, Brandon Nicholson. Who else we got? Anissa Ville, Dale Griggs is in the building. Let me go down the row. And my 6th, Madonna Johnson is in the building. That guy we're not gonna mention is in the building. Hey, Tamika Withers is in the building. Mate Cora is in the building. Karen Thomas in the building. Hey, let me tell y'all something. When I got you group of women right there, I know I'm all right. Now let's do me a favor, everybody. Let's share the show. Let's share it. Let's share the show. Because there's some people been saying, "Hey, Robert, I found out about the show because some of the people have shared it." So you've been doing a great job. And if you or your friend are not, man, I just got so. Let me tell y'all something. This platform that y'all are part of, people are talking about it around the country. Now we just got to do our part. We got to get every eyeball on this thing. I know some of y'all don't want, I know. I told you, a guy told me, Mark Edwards, what's up, baby? Hey, as a guy told me, man, I don't want to let my friends know that I'm looking at the Chop Shop because I'm winning all the bets. I'm winning all the bets because these dudes think they know it. I said, dude, that's selfish. Don't do that. Don't do that. We got a community that we trying to grow. Chris Walker told you it's 49 million of us on this planet. We don't need nobody else. It's 49 on this in this country, and then around the world. See, and Chris limited himself. He didn't think that this show reached around the world. So it's people around the world. You know, it's people in Haiti or in turmoil now. Their president just got assassinated, and his wife got hurt. She's in the hospital. So this show reaches around the world, and that's why y'all. I know y'all be laughing at me when somebody, and I'm not gonna let nobody. No, cause guess what? For it being ballers, I'm not gonna let nobody call your program subpar. I'm not gonna let Marissa Smith, whatever you doing in life, I know you gonna be wonderful. Anissa Ville. I mean, let me tell y'all something. We have to start seeing each other, and I'm gonna keep saying this. We got to keep seeing each other as great. I know y'all used to, man. Forget that. I've been there. I used to think like that. But when you know better, you do better. When you know better, it reported that. See, thank you, Chris Charles. You've been up on the news. The wife of the president of Haiti. Y'all got to realize, them guys from Haiti, them people from Haiti, they out. They us too. They just got dropped off in another island. They dropped off in another island. Let's not get that straight. Jamaica and all them places. They just got dropped off somewhere else. We made it here. So all of them are our brothers. That's why now I understand why it was a guy who used to always get mad at us on the show talking about Brandy. See, Brandy, I didn't always think like this, Brandy. The more I learn, that's why I try to give this information to y'all. But Brandy, I remember, I'm serious. A guy used to always talk about, we're not a minority. We're not a minority. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about until I went and studied it. Around the world, we're not. We're part of the global majority. So, we always come out minorities over here. That's why I don't say that word. And I used to hate when that guy, because he used to talk about, we're not minorities. He said it in well, he didn't say it. He tweeted it, and he had all caps. And usually in all caps, that means y'all hollering at people, right? Yeah. So all of us. So when it happened to Haiti, it happens to me. I don't know about y'all. So I stay up on stuff like that. But let me get some stuff out. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. This No Excuses Pro-Am, they got some great matchups, I think, Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And I told you, I put up on the screen yesterday. It's at the Forge basketball complex. These are the top teams in the power rankings. But let me show you what. This Saturday, the Houston Flight, that's the number 1 team, going to take on Showtime. That's number 8. The Defenders with Aaron Harrison going to take on Flight 73. The Brew Crew with Corey Brewer going to take on Competitive Choice. And then on Sunday, Showtime versus It's Just Us. So, y'all, this going to be the last weekend at the Forge. Let's get out there and support these people. I'm going to be out of town. Let's get out and support the No Excuses Pro-Am, because I think the next week after this week, it's going to be back at Fundy. Great basketball. Y'all basketball fans. Y'all love basketball. I know y'all love youth basketball, but some of these same young guys played in the same tournaments and the same things that y'all are flying around the country watching right now. So let's go out and support them. What else we got? Yes, Odyssey. We talked about Raven Rogers a little bit. I think Jimmy got some information on her. I'm gonna let him handle that because he knows the mom pretty good. So I got a couple more things I want to share. Oh, my girl Naomi Osaka, she's getting her own 3-part docuseries on Netflix. The series is produced by LeBron James and Maverick Carter, and I've been looking at. I looked at the Atlanta Dream the other day, y'all. What? And Odyssey helped me out. Odyssey, I'm glad you're on here. Atlanta Dreams have suspended guard. What her name? Kennedy, Shanity Carter, to further notice to what the franchise said. Conduct detrimental to the team. Odyssey, what's up with that? They said they don't want her around the team. I don't know the young lady, but I just hope we get her some help. Because I heard she's very, very, very talented. Jameson Morrow, boy, that Howard University, yo, I got some more stuff on how. Hey, I got some more stuff for y'all. Y'all, just hold on. Then I look at the WNBA. Some teams have completely turned around their season, but with a week to play before the Olympic break, teams like Phoenix, the top teams in LA, the Lakers in Washington and Atlanta are stuck on losing streaks and trending down in week 8. So it's found out some stuff a little bit, few tidbits about the U of H name, image, and likeness, just a little bit, not too much. Yeah, and I didn't realize this, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all Lisa Leslie. She was one of my favorite WNBA players outside of the comments. But let me read some of her stuff, y'all. Lisa Leslie. It's Women Rock Wednesday, right? She was a two-time NBA champion, two-time WNBA Finals champion. She was two-time WNBA champion. I'm sorry, 2 times WNBA Finals MVP, 3 times WNBA MVP, 12 times all WNBA, 2 times WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, 8 gold medals, Hall of Fame, Big 3 champion coach, and she once scored 101 points in 16 minutes in high school. I did not know that about that young lady. She rocks the day with me, and I'm gonna tell y'all. I talked to y'all a little bit about it. Yeah, we got some summer basketball stuff. I'm kind of waiting on Jimmy, but I was thinking about Nicole Hannah-Jones and Tanayashi's coach. Coach is a tongue twister to me. Going to Howard, it seemed like T'Challa and what's the girl, Okoye, going to Howard. The young lady said, "Let me take my talents to Howard." I was thinking about that, man. What happened at UNC? Nicole Hannah-Jones, this was her alma mater. She was already teaching at this school. And to people who don't know, Nicole Hannah-Jones, that's the lady behind me, boss lady, yeah, she went up for tenure. She was told that she would get this tenure, okay? Some trustees on the board didn't like the 1619 project because it told the truth. She was just giving facts of what happened. From 1619, when the first slave ship came over here, if y'all go back and if you've been on here long enough, I've mentioned this on the show about the 1619 project, and go look it up. And but uh, they gave her tenure, and then it was rescinded. Then a set of firestorms on social media. So Women Rock Wednesday tribute, and them people are at the school started leaving. It's a lot of people at the school start leaving the school. Professors who were coming to the school were saying, "No, I'm not coming there," and then professors who were there were leaving for better options. All of this happening, she didn't say nothing. She didn't come on and say nothing. Uh, that's what I love about this woman. She just okay. All right. I'm gonna let God handle y'all. UNC, after all of that happened, people started leaving and students got protesting, parents, students and professors protesting. UNC said, whoa. I'm sorry. Here your 10-year little Negro. Come on back. Come on back, Newman. Let me tell you something, y'all. I saw somewhere somebody tweeted yesterday. They said, "I'd rather go where I'm wanted, not where I'm tolerated." UNC didn't come back and say, "Here's your tenure," because it was the right thing to do. They got public pressure. And it was hurting their business. It was hurting their brand. It was hurting their legacy. No one wanted, no, you know what I found out yesterday? No one, just talking to some people yesterday, Brandon, people that not of our color. He said, no one wants to be labeled a racist unless you're Trump and his crew. You know, that's their brand. We ain't talking about them. But most good racists don't like to be labeled racist. They don't want to be known as racist. And that move that Nicole Hannah-Jones, and we talked about it earlier. Now everybody got it on the news, but we talked about it early on the Chop Shop yesterday. That move was nasty, y'all. The role that Nicole Hannah-Jones, I'm sorry, Nicole, had at UNC. Let me explain something to you, Sensei and Landon and Daryl Barnes. Check this out. And Daryl, I know you already studied this. That role that she had at UNC, because she was already teaching there. Check this out. Everyone who has had that role, everyone who has been that chair, the position she was in for the last 30 years, automatically had tenure. Okay? Had tenure. She was unanimously voted by her faculty and her peers and was approved for tenure. Okay? She went through the whole tenure process. The University of North Carolina said, we gonna buck tradition. No, we ain't gonna do it. It was the board of trustees, y'all, and a political donor who is also a huge donor to the school. He's also a Trumper. And the GOP has been politicizing the 1619 project ever since it came out. What's up, Ed Russell? The 1619 project, it was the beginning of what we now know as the critical race theory. That's where the term came from, because they was trying to bash the 1619 project. Y'all got to see it. Even if I think if you go to they got a podcast. New York Times got a podcast. You can hear it. If you ain't got time to read it, you can hear it. I've heard of several episodes of it. Unbelievable. Whoever, I don't know who the lady talking. I don't know if it's that Nicole Hannah-Jones, but it's a lady talking that in that audio. It's unbelievable. But the critical race theory, it was born out of conservative media and GOP having a huge problem with this 1619 project. Just Google, do me a favor, if you don't believe me, just Google what Republicans in the Senate and the people in Trump administration have said about Nicole Hannah-Jones. Go Google it for me. Okay, go Google it. Go Google it for yourself. I'm just giving you a breadcrumb. And the 1619 project. Y'all think about it. This young lady, she didn't even pull her lever of her actual celebrity as a journalist on him. She didn't say, do y'all know who I am? No. It was actually, she didn't write this. She didn't blow the whistle. It was actually a public policy watchdog. Public policy watchdog. They made it public. They made it public. She didn't talk about it. Wait a minute. She didn't talk about it externally. Now, she probably was talking about it to her people. We can tell she was talking about it because she was making moves to go to Howard. So she was talking about it, but not externally. Students were protesting. Faculties were protesting. What's up, Reginald Simpson? Then I found out Corey Willis. Hold on. What the University of North Carolina did in that state is illegal. It's illegal to make these sort of decisions in academia in that state based on politics and political issues. Tenure is supposed to be freedom. It's an anti-cancel measure to protect professors who color outside the line. You know how the professors get eccentric, and this saved their job. That's what tenure was for. But Nikole Hannah-Jones, she made an ultimate boss move. All she was saying is, I don't want it anymore. I don't want to be in a place where I have to fight for you to respect me. Y'all, I'm telling y'all this. I'm not talking just about Nikole Hannah-Jones. I'm talking to y'all. Some of this happening in some of y'all's life right now. This summer basketball. You shouldn't be in a place where you got to fight for them to respect you, parents. Think about this, y'all. Think about this, Dr. John Newsom. This woman. You remember I said something about that $20 million that she taking with her? You know why she taking it with her? Because she raised it. She got her $15 to $20 million she raised. Check this out, y'all. To create that space to talk about journalism through the lens of equality and equity. I'm going to bring you in just a second, Chris. I'm talking about Nikole Hannah-Jones. This Women Rock Wins. She said, I'm going to take my time and my talents and my Pulitzer and take it to Howard University. What's up, Chris? Oh, look at your boy. Hollywood.
I'm in BK, baby.
I see you. I see you.
Hey,
Chris.
I got to get the people on the chop shop and get used to hearing that real air, that real noise, man. It's that real sound right there. We outside today, baby. You know how it is.
I love it, Chris.
You know what I'm saying?
And Chris,
what's happening?
It's Women Rock Wins. I'm talking about that woman behind me. Let me move so you can see her. Nikole Hannah-Jones. She told UNC. She told UNC. Forget y'all. She did like LeBron's. I'm taking my talents to Howard University. And hold up. And I'm not just going to go by myself. I'm going to take Ta-Nehisi Coates with me. One of the greatest authors in our time. I liken it to T'Challa and Okoye. Wakanda forever. They bringing Wakanda to Howard, man. Walt. What's up, Paul Moran? I meant to say hi to you earlier, man. What's going on? But
that's because Mackenzie, what's her name? Put all that money into Howard.
No.
They got the
but they didn't have. Hold up. She raised her own money. Quick. No. Hold on. Stop. The woman brought $20 million with her, and guess what? Just for her department. Hold on, just let me talk before you get to running. Let me give you some information, Chris Walker.
I'm just listening.
Let me give you some information, Chris Walker. While she was at UNC, she raised money through the Knight Foundation, the Ford Foundation, MacArthur, all of these people who had been honoring her. She raised $20-some million. They say it's up to $25 million. She took that with her to Howard, saying, look, Howard, you ain't going to have no financial burden. I brings this paper with me. Unique thing, hold up. And one thing I like about her, she sat down with Gayle King. And what I like about her, Lori Lightfoot, take notes from this. If you don't know Lori Lightfoot, the mayor up in Chicago, told I ain't gonna do that. If you ain't black media, I ain't gonna do it. Baby, just do it. Don't run your mouth. Take this. Nikole Hannah-Jones didn't say nothing. She just gave her first appearance to Gayle King. Now, let me tell you something. But I wish she had gave it to Roland Martin. That's just me. Roland Martin, check this out, got his own media company. Gayle King works for CBS. This is the power, Chris, that we have. I wish Nikole had thought about this. But Chris, that was her alma mater. That's like Villanova doing you like that. And also I found out this center that she's developing from that $25 million, they said it would also work across all historical black colleges. It's going to be HBCU wide to offer journalism degrees in concentration. Chris, they building a pipeline, Chris, for our next generation of journalists. It's gonna be some young Chris Walkers coming out of there. It's gonna be some Walter Cronkite, some Gail Kings and some Robin Roberts come out of this thing, Chris. And I just wanted to share that with you. Now you can. I'm giving you them. I know you talked about McKenzie, but let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what I tweeted this yesterday. Now Harvard gonna be known as the White Howard. Hey, you know how they call Howard the black Harvard. Now Harvard gonna be known as the White Howard. Boy, these how the paradigm. All I'm saying is, Chris, she could have took her talents anywhere. This woman was more decorated. Chris, she is a Pulitzer Prize. Chris, how many people do you know personally are Pulitzer Prize winners?
What's a Pulitzer Prize winner?
The top prize for a writer ever of that year. The top prize any author can get, the Pulitzer Prize. Every author, every writer, that's the Oscar. That's the Oscar for authors. The MacArthur Genius. Look that up. I can't do all your damn homework.
You got to do all the homework because don't nobody on the feed knows, so you got to educate.
No, but guess what? You know why I'm laughing about you? You a writer, Chris.
I mean, I know what it means.
No. You a writer, Chris.
I just want you to tell people on the feed because everybody don't know what a Pulitzer.
Well, guess what? Guess what they can do? Google. We doing a show. Google. But Women Rock Wednesday, Chris. I just want you, whatever you like to add to that. But man, it's just, Chris. I'm just thinking about that.
I read that. No, I read that. I thought that was very, very cool. I actually, I think Jamel Hill tweeted it out, and I read something on it this morning. But look at Marissa. Everybody always chop me up.
Because you always say something crazy.
Me, man.
Huh?
What'd I say?
That's all right.
What'd I say?
That's all right.
Anyway, so yesterday, man, I had the pleasure of playing this golf tournament yesterday. It was
yes.
ABIS, Advancements for Blacks in Sports.
Yeah.
And it was a great event. Very well attended, and also had I hit a 300-yard drive, just so you know, and followed it up with a 275-yard bomb, just so you know. And I had to put the caddy on FaceTime, right? Had to put the caddy on FaceTime to let everybody know what time it was, so it was real, just so you know. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the great Jim Thorpe was there, telling stories like you would believe, walking 40 miles to win a golf tournament, sleeping in a gas station on the floor, just the way they were treated. Brother named Chris Arsenault, who was there, who was honored, first black golf pro in Louisiana and Mississippi. At a golf club. I mean, like golf, you know how it is.
Yeah, a golf professional. Yeah.
First head pro.
Yeah.
First black head pro.
Okay.
Ever. So, I mean, there's some things that I learned last night. And lastly, there's a lady named Colette Smith. I don't know if you know her name. First black female NFL coach. Man, she took the house down, bro. She was unbelievable. How
old is she, Chris?
I don't know how old she is. She's got to be 40, 42, like in her 40s, or she could be 30.
Who was she? What team was she on?
New York Jets.
Okay.
New York Jets. She was unbelievable. Brought the house down. It was a place, as I said before, being proud to be African American. Advancements for Blacks in Sports. Bunch of head coaches. Mike, you know who was there? Mike Boynton was all the way up there. He's from New York, but Mike Boynton.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Among Will Jones in North Carolina A&T, I told him we get him on the Chop Shop. Tavares Hardy, the head coach of Towson, need to get him on the Chop Shop. A lot of brothers. Mike Anderson was there. It was really, really Craig Robertson. Michelle Obama's brother, he was there. He spoke. It was just and Gary Charles put it on, who's been on the Chop Shop.
Yes.
Gary Charles, who's the founder of
Mhm.
Advancement Blacks in Sports did a great job, a magnificent job. And here's the crazy thing: you go to some of those events, man, and you think, and it is silly the way our mindset work. And I hit you with this yesterday. Had it like, oh man, I hope this thing is organized and this and that. Man, I'm telling you, it was one of the best golf tournaments I've ever seen, organization wise. Only thing about us, we don't know how to spend no money on the auction though. We got to work on that. And guess who did the option? I mean the auction.
Oh,
Guess who did the auction?
well,
Remember Otis Anderson from the Giants?
yes, yes.
My frat brother was in there
Oh,
talking. I mean,
why? I mean,
23 years
a
old,
running back, the running back.
running back.
Yeah.
And he was funny as I don't know what, man. He did a great job. He was great. So it was a great time, man. And I'll say this: a shout out to J.P. Morgan and Chase.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing something with this new NIL with college kids. Man, they made some stats. They put some stats out there. I forgot to send them to you, Hatter. I was listening to it last night. They said this was a stat. Young lady, I forget her name. I'll get all the information. Matter of fact, we need to get her on the Chop Shop.
Let's make it happen.
She said that football is 50, probably right around 50% African American, and she said that, hey Ed Russell, I'm a Q. Don't be doing that much stuff, Russell. I don't know, that's your homeboy. That's your homeboy. I can tell. Anyway, and then she said college basketball is about 60% African American. She said in football, and we thought about this before, if the players shared in 50% of the revenue that comes in, right? In college football alone, in the Power Five, each player would be worth $1 million. They would get $1 million a year if they shared in 50% of the revenue that comes in. She also said that
each player in the power in the bowl series or all
period, all over $1 million a year.
Why?
She said if in the Power Five leagues, including the Big East, top six. I'm a nuke, man. Please, Candy cane. But here's the thing:
come on, Q.
If the college basketball and the Power Five leagues, if they shared in the revenue, they would make $2 million per year. Point being is, think about it. Forget about the NBA. If these kids who put their bodies on the line, and she said the reason why she did it, Doc, is because she lived next to Olympians and people and saw them train. And when they were done, they were working TSA. They were working as security guards. And she said, this is crazy that these people, train at this level, do all these different things. And then when they're done, they have to go do X, Y, and Z. Now, I got my own personal feelings towards that because life's about choices and whatever. And just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you should get, an afterlife doing something else if you don't prepare for it. Just like any other person. But that aside, is that if you give to the U.S. and you make sure that they get a gold medal, shouldn't you get something in return from the U.S. out of it? That's the way I look at it. If the U.S. is going to brag and say all these things about you and have these accolades, they should reward you accordingly. Because I'll tell you something. Somebody told me about the Dream Team back in the day, right? And the U.S. Olympic Committee and why they don't pay them anymore. Right? They give them a little stipend, but they used to, and you may be able to correct me on this, but I heard this from, when I was at the pre-draft camp, that they almost bankrupt the Olympic Basketball Committee, so they had to stop paying them. That's a whole other thing. But back to the image and likeness thing, she said that in college, you've got kids that can take care of their families and never play in the NBA, and never play in the NFL, and not have to play if they share the revenue.
But if my auntie had a beard, she'd be my uncle.
Well, here's the deal. Her point was that she brought up redlining. Her point was about redlining. We were in Long Island. She said there are houses that are one side of the street that are worth $500,000 less than the house on the other side of the street.
Yes.
So it's intentional.
Yes.
In how they keep wealth from people. Yes. Well, if it's intentional to keep wealth away, it has to be intentional to provide wealth. And what they're saying is, because this has been done for so long, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to start it with collegiate kids and the athletes, because they made a great point. When a kid comes from the hood.
Who is this lady? Who is this lady now? What is she?
I forget her name. She works for Chase. I'm going to get her information.
This Chase. Okay, Chase. No, you're good.
I'm going to try to get it from Women's Rock Wednesday, because they was the title sponsor.
Okay.
When a kid comes from his neighborhood, right, he's the only, he's like a dinosaur, Hatter.
Okay.
And when he do good, guess what else do good? The neighborhood do good, because everybody proud And if he gives back to his neighborhood, it's a good thing when he makes it. When these dudes make it out these neighborhoods, these college coaches, particularly of the other culture, they don't realize it ain't 5 of them coming out of there. It's 1 of them. It may be 1 dude that ever comes out that neighborhood, and they may not get another one for 20 years, Hatter. Right or wrong? When the last penny come out of Memphis? Come on now.
No more.
When the last penny come out of Memphis?
No more. Ain't no
I mean,
more.
real talk.
No,
Now,
it's
Houston's a much bigger city. We've had some guys.
yeah.
But when the last penny, and I can name some of these
No
other
more.
towns.
I can help
no
you.
more.
No more.
So now imagine if Penny didn't make the NBA, didn't have the impact that he had. But in college, because he helped Memphis achieve so much fame, they paid him because of his abilities. Imagine that.
That's great.
Because
Good
again,
point.
because I'm just
Good
saying,
point.
imagine that.
Good
So
point.
what they're saying is they've been devoid of that for years.
Mm-hmm.
Devoid of that for years.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, look what's happening. They're saying, and think about it, the law is, people in law are saying it's wrong. So if people in the law, right, or if elected officials are saying it's wrong, how long has it been wrong for, Adam?
I mean,
It's wrong.
you
And
know
you
what?
got people in academics, go on.
You know what's so unique about what you said? So unique. That young man you just named, Penny Hardaway, is the sole reason why the Memphis Grizzlies got a franchise. Because we gave his, you know how you have the summer, like the Zoe Summer Groove, the summer basketball, all the pros come to town. We gave one of those to Penny annually. And it brought 19,000 people came every summer to see the pros. So he, with the help of us, planted a seed where now Memphis got the So guess what? That seed he planted, somebody else benefiting from the Memphis Grizzlies. If they sell it right now, it's worth billions. You follow me? So Penny helped build equity in a franchise that he won't be able to benefit from.
People don't even know this, Hatter. You can educate them on Penny and his impact on Memphis. Tubby Smith was the head coach of Memphis.
Yeah.
Hatter, you know this very intimate.
Yeah.
Tubby Smith wasn't having bad years. It was decent. But you know what Tubby Smith could not do? Draw people to come to Beale Street. And
Great
people
point.
don't understand the
Great
lease.
point.
The
Great
lease
point.
where the Grizzlies play, people don't know that Memphis, now albeit they play less games, they outdraw the Grizzlies.
Yes.
People don't understand. Unless you've been to Memphis, understand Memphis basketball and what it means to that city. So now all of a sudden you inject a hometown hero in Penny Hardaway to come back and coach Memphis. You can't get a seat in the house. But they don't understand Beale Street is connected to that arena being sold out, which means, guess what? They say, Tubby, we'll pay you to leave. Did you hear what I just said, Adam?
Yeah.
Explain
10 million. Hold up. We'll pay you 10 million to leave. Keep going. And you know what's so unique about what you said? The hotel. They got a Westin hotel right across the street. It was barren. Yo, they wasn't having but under they weren't having up but under I think under 3,000 people come to a 19,000 seat arena. When Tubby was there.
Beale Street right across the street.
And so Beale Street
directly across the street.
Right across the street. And guess what? Beale Street wasn't getting no business. Them folks said, hold on. But hold up, Chris. But I'm gonna show you how crazy and how University of North Carolina-ish that Memphis was. They didn't want to hire him at first. Man, we don't want to pay this man $10 million, and then we got to give him some money to come. Chris,
how quick they make that $10 million back?
Chris, I'm just telling you what they didn't want to do. And I'll never forget this, Chris. I'll never forget this. Went right down 60 miles down the road. What's the man? Ole Miss coach that just got fired. Kennedy. Talk to the AD. AD. Penny would be willing to talk to you. Y'all gotta realize Penny wasn't thinking about no damn coaching no basketball. He loved that little Team Penny, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, he loved it. If y'all watch the money he put in Team Penny, you can tell what people love something. Watch where they put their money at. Chris, don't you agree, Chris? Wherever you put your money,
he did a great job. They travel first class. He did a great job with those kids.
Your heart is where your treasure is. All we did, and guess what, Chris? When he met with the AD of Ole Miss, guess all I had to do is say, and let the other AD know that that guy was down there. Then that moved the ball. They still, I mean, as great as Nicole Hannah-Jones is, Chris, she's a rock star in the literary world.
But Hatter, I sent you a text this morning.
I saw it.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Uh-huh.
People don't understand our power if we can galvanize people to believe in the power of us. I saw it last night.
Yeah.
The power of us.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it wasn't enough power in there because it could have been way more power. And I'm telling you, we have.
And if you had told me about it sooner, I could have been up there. So that's your fault.
I understand that. But you know what I was nervous about? I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't know how good it was gonna be, and I'm sitting there embarrassed, going like, man, that thing was first class.
It was better than the one we went to here.
First class.
You remember the one we went to?
I remember.
Gave us all the gifts. I'm still using the gift.
They ain't got that. It wasn't like that. But what I'm saying, and this, hold up, but this was the inaugural year.
Okay.
And I had some people with me from Wealth Management who've been to all type of golf tournaments. They said, man, I could not believe this was the inaugural year. I said, there is no way something this put together. But again, slap yourself in the face.
Right.
We are able to do things, right? If we put our mind to it, it got nothing to do with being white or black.
Right.
It's about being, hey man, we handle things the right way. You know what I'm saying? We do things the right way. How would I want to be treated if I was at a golf tournament? From the caddy coach to everything.
That's
so
it.
We had caddies with us the whole way. It was a great time.
Chris, wait a minute, Chris. You say you had a caddy?
Had a caddy the whole time.
No, I've never seen that, Chris. Chris.
Oh no, had caddies the whole time.
That must have been a private club. Cherry.
Don't matter. Yeah, it was private. Cherry
Okay.
Credit. But but I'm just saying, still, I've been to private clubs.
I haven't. I haven't been to a golf tournament that had the caddies with the group. I haven't did that. I've been to.
Food was impeccable. Yeah, food was impeccable. Just organization. And you know what's funny, man? You sit there. And you sit through these situations, and I want to get back because it is Women Rock Wednesday. About listening to Coletta Smith share. I would encourage everybody to Google her. Just listen to her story. And the way this woman talked, bro, the way this woman talked about the adversity that she went through to get to the NFL, and you could tell by her passion and power that lady right there, she could move a room. She was unbelievable. And people got to understand, I've been around NBA dudes, and I mean I'm not trying to, besmirch or bemoan women that play that have leadership in men's sports, but they don't listen half the time. Those women, they understand. Oh, that's just something that they trying to do.
Yeah,
placeholder. That lady there, not her. Like, you listening to her. Oh, bro, no, you listen to that lady. She is unbelievable, and I was certainly moved. And you know what she is? I always say I'm proud black. That sister there, she pro black. I mean, like, she the other way. She like, because some people are just fed up, Hatter. They fed up. They didn't need George Floyd. And George Floyd was the undertone of everything that was going on. And the reason why ABIS came into existence. But then, and I tell coaches all the time, all you guys are benefiting. I'm not mad at you, but all you are benefiting from what happened. Where were y'all before that, though? Where were you before that? I know you're benefiting now. Everybody benefiting. We got 3-year window, right, Hatter? Everybody benefiting. But where were you before that? What were you talking about before that? Were you just like going, status quo?
Great. That's
So
great.
we need-
That's great. That's great, Chris.
We need all this stuff to happen before Black Lives Matter.
And Chris, a lot of us now. I'm more educated now on these social issues than I was after George Floyd. I know we've been talking about it, but I'm more educated.
So are you a proponent of critical race theory, Sartita?
What you mean by see? I'm smart enough to know that. No. I got to qualify it. Wait a minute. Give me the question again.
Go on.
Give me the question again. Am I a proponent of what?
Proponent of critical race theory.
What you mean by critical race theory?
Do you believe it should be taught in our schools?
Of course I do.
Do you believe?
No.
There you go. That's all I want to know.
No. But let me explain it. If you was on the show a little earlier,
okay.
Do you know where the critical race theory term came from?
I know the brother that invented it.
No, I ain't talking about the word. You see this woman behind me that I've been talking about, and you was trying to make light of her? Her 1619 project was attacked That's the root. That's what she's
Mm.
teaching. She's teaching from 1619 how the first slave ship came over up until now. So the GOP and all of them, they came back and called it critical race theory because they was chopping up. That's why that lady, they had a hard time down there giving her a tenure, Chris, because critical race theory is a term, Chris. Check this
Well,
out, Chris.
it's teaching
It's
history
teaching.
through the lens of race.
It's teaching this, but that young lady right there started. That's why she got a Pulitzer for writing that piece for New York Times, Chris. That's why she got the Pulitzer. And that's what, so critical race theory is a term, they always coming out. Let me tell you something. We should always teach history. A lot of people don't want this history taught because they saying, well, somebody told me, well, it's just going to bring up stuff that, but people got to know what happened.
But Hatter, why is it important to know who Christopher Columbus is, but it's not important to know who I mean, I can name.
It's not important to know who Christopher Columbus is.
Right, but I'm just saying I can name
it's important to them.
Different people. Right.
Important to them.
I can name a million different black people that have done unbelievable things in our community and in our past and in our history. But why is it important to know who George Washington? I mean, I'm saying not George Washington.
Uh-huh.
Do we even know half that crap even happened back then? How do we even know that even happened back then?
Well, some of it is historical fact. Chris.
Okay, well, so some of our stuff is historical fact.
No. A lot of it. Listen to me. Hold on. But when you have the power that they have, when you got a Clay Travis and this other guy on Fox spewing out this stuff every day, and people listening to this stuff, Chris, we got mamas in there crying. No, we can't teach that at our schools. I got it. I got some videotape of it, Chris. But Landon said something great, Landon. They call it critical race theory. He called it historical accuracy and facts. And they putting it. Think about it, how it sounds.
But Hatter, why don't they want it taught? Because you got to get to the root of it. Why? We talk about historical stuff in sports all the damn time.
Chris, if you agree to why, then you know you have to pay reparations. That stuff that they don't want to ever do. Anytime you talk about it, they say, if they have to agree with these historical facts, they trying to say they're not factual, Chris. That's what they're trying to say. But guess what?
Are they trying to say it's not factual, or they just don't want it taught?
Both. But you said, why would they want it to? Because guess what? Listen, I'm gonna put myself in one of them guys' space. If I'm Mr. Rockefeller.
Let's roll. How about we role play?
Okay. I'm Mr. Rockefeller. Let's role play. I'm Mr. Rockefeller. I'm Mr. One of them. I don't want to let my grandson know I didn't pull up my bootstraps and get these billions. I got it off the backs of these slaves and these guys, these people. That's how I got my money. My son thinks I'm leaving him trust fund. Little Robert, my son was at a girl's apartment, a 24-year-old girl's apartment the other day in New York. She got a $3 million penthouse. And I said, well, where's she? Trust fund, baby, Dad. She's a trust fund baby. And I'm sitting there saying, what? A 25-year-old girl got it. But Chris, what I'm going to tell my son, this is how I got this money. No, I'm an upstanding, I wear Brook Brothers suits, I wear Brioni, I wear Tom Ford. Chris, maybe they don't want their kids and their grandkids to know. I don't know. You asking me to get in the mind of somebody else. I'm just saying, because I want my guy to know, I want my people to know the history. This last 2 years have been the greatest years of my life because I'm learning more about who I am and where I came from. I ain't gonna lie.
So so
Huh?
so here's my thing. With that being said, and that narrative, do you believe that people, like, again, it's complaining and competing? Like, I'm down. There are certain things I complain about,
Uh-huh.
right? But I'm not a complainer though.
Okay.
I'm a competition guy. I want to compete. I'm competing. I get it. There's boundaries that, there's things that affect us. There are barriers of entry that preclude us from being a part of stuff. But at the end of the day, our forefathers still competed, right? Uphill battle. Some people push the ball down the hill. Some people have to push it up the hill, right? I still compete. I'm not gonna give up. I'm a fighter. The problem is a lot of us down the battlefield. You see what I'm saying? A lot of us down the battlefield because there's so many rules and regulations that preclude us again from having an opportunity, or we just, we just die, man. It's just we give up. We jump over one hill, they put another one there. The football field's 100 yards long. You get to the goal line. No, man, you got 20 more yards. You understand what I'm saying? What you about to say, Heather?
I want you to. You still giving us. So how do you compete with that?
Again, let's take a break and I'll come back with that.
Okay.
Let's
Take a
take a
quick
break real
break.
quick. I'm
Hold on.
gonna
Let me
go grab
find.
my drink.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that, son. I like that. Chop, chop. We'll be back in a minute.
The Cox Pradia Law Firm. Big city, big town, big settlement. Your fight is our fight. Need legal advice? You know who to call. Personal injury, wrongful death, car accidents, premise liability, serious injuries. 1-800-HURT-NOW.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. We got C Walk is in the building. Chris, would you went change shades or what do you do? What you gonna move your spot? Now you done push your mute button on me. Take the mute off.
Oh, my bad. I said it's a little hot out here, man. I had to change
It's
my
getting
angle.
hot in
Got me
here.
some tea. Got me
Chris,
some tea.
so tell me, I love where you're going because I got something for you. You were
Come
saying,
on, bring it.
I said, how do you compete?
How do you
With
compete?
all of this going on, the critical race theory and all of this stuff, how do you compete? And I'm
think about
gonna give you the stage a second, but I'm gonna listen to you.
So what I'm saying is this is a sports show, so I'm looking at it through the guise of sports. How do we compete when the deck is seemingly, not necessarily seemingly, but from an ocular standpoint, it's evident that it's stacked against us. So what we struggle with in our community is the word. Well, he's trying to, gain proximity to whiteness because he wants to learn how to quote unquote speak the king's English, or he wants to work at a place that will, yeah, he can make more money, but look at the hue of all the people that work there. He believes that that's important for him to say that he is quote unquote successful. And so you fight with people. Again, I don't like to use the term sellout, right? Because some things you selling out, some things you selling in to the fact that, you know what, if I want this, I have to do that. So everybody can sit, we can sit and debate and have that conversation about, you know, what's the right way to assimilate into the culture, or how capitalism functions, right? If you want to live in this neighborhood, if you need to have this degree, you need to go to this school, you need to either go to a PWI, HBCU. We can sit and go back and we can verbal joust about what people believe the correct way to do it is. So when you ask me how do you compete, the question is, you got to know the rules of the game. You got to know the rules of the game. Every game has rules. This game has rules. The game of life has rules. Capitalism has rules. And when you get in that situation, that doesn't mean, now again, it doesn't mean that you have to go to Harvard. You can go to Howard and still be successful. We have a ton of successful people at Howard, right? But I guarantee if you ask any Howard grad, there are some barriers of entry that they deal with. You ask Tiger Woods, when he was coming up as a golfer, even though he's the greatest golfer to ever walk the earth, there were barriers of entry that Earl Woods had to deal with, Serena and Venus included, right? I'm sure the Jackson 5 of Michael Jackson. There are always barriers that we have to deal with, and you ask yourself, you can complain about them, which we all should do. Under your breath, out loud. We need all people. We need the ones that say it loud. We need to say it to people that say it under their breath. At the end of the day, we also need action. And you asked me, what's an action item? My thing is, again, we were talking about CRT just a minute ago. How about instead of complaining, right, that they don't teach critical race theory in school, we're all African American, we're all aware. We should all, as Hatter say, want to be more aware or informed about our own culture. How about we teach it to our kids? The internet exists. You can find anything in the world on the internet. Stop playing PS2, right? Stop watching basketball games. Stop watching Real Housewives. Dedicate some time to teaching your own kids. Education and charity starts at home. Stop relying on everybody else to do your job. They don't want to. Why would the wolf teach the sheep? Why would the wolf teach the sheep? I don't get that. If you were a wolf, you wouldn't teach the sheep. You want people,
the
you
sheep,
want the dominant culture.
Hey, the wolf taught you?
What's that?
The wolf taught
No.
you?
You
The
didn't let me
wolf
finish.
taught
So why would
me?
the wolf well, hold on. Or Robert Hatter figured out he was a smart ass sheep and
Yes.
figured some things out.
Yes.
Because there's some people, the Harriet Tubmans,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
My man that you brag about in over there in Harlem, they figured some things out.
Adam Clayton Powell. I'm gonna brag about him till the cows
Clayton
come
Powell,
on. Yeah.
Charles Drew. There's some people that figured some things out. Yes. Did they have to Jesse Owens? Yeah. Did they have to deal with some horrible conditions? Absolutely.
Yes.
But here's the thing, Hatter. As much as we may complain about things today, right? As much as we complain about things today, at the end of the day, and look at Kim Jackson. What are you doing? Kim, you what do you mean, what am I doing? Kim, I'm on the chop shop every day. What are you doing? Okay? What are you doing? I coach AAU and spent all my resources for 5 years helping parents that forget about whether they can take care or not. I took that expense for them and put 60 kids in college. Kim, what are you doing? That's what we need to know, right? I mean, I don't even want to get up there and get bragging and act like that.
No. Keep going.
Saying, you know what? I believe, that you either a giver or you a taker.
Okay.
And everybody needs to look in the mirror, take a personal inventory, and ask yourself, are you a giver or are you a taker? I didn't say an in-between person. I didn't say one toe on this side and one toe on the other side. Are you a giver or are you a taker?
It's a great point.
That's it.
It's a great point.
Do you give? Do you give to your community? Do you give to your church? Do you pour into your children?
Yeah.
Do you? Or are you, well, you know what? They should pay for my child because he can play. Are you a giver or a taker? What about the other kids on the team that can't afford to play? Maybe they need the resources. I'm just saying, when you really put it down, are you a giver or a taker? That's how I look at people. That's how I look at my friends. Hey, man, you either a giver or a taker. And at the end of the day, guess what? I may have a taker on my team.
Yeah.
That's going to be my choice, though.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be my choice. So at the end of the day, that's just how I feel. When you look at your friends, you circle your friends. I want everybody to think about this little exercise.
Come on.
Jimmy always has this thing. Would you rather have 1 million friends or $1 million? I love that. Would you rather have 1 million friends or $1 million? No wrong answer. I want you to look at your concentric circle. Like Sandra said, servant leader. How many people know what that means? Right? Because they focus on the word leader and they forget about the word servant. Google the word servant. Are you a servant leader? Can you lead from behind? Do you always got to be out front to lead? Come on now. People don't understand. Sometimes the dude who's got the best talent got that backup quarterback that's in his head that keeps him focused. I'm telling you, when you're building a team, that's when you find out what people are all about. Everybody got a boss, and no, guess what? He might be a boss, but he ain't the leader. Yeah, he the boss, but he ain't the leader. He ain't the straw that stirs the drink around here. So again, when you look at your concentric circle, if you really put a gun, I always say gun to head, would you hire him or not? Gun to head. Forget about, oh, that's my homeboy, that's my this. See, when you're in a position where you have to make decisions for a living, a coaching, a pastor, a pilot, you know what I call those people, Harry? Professional decision makers. When you have your own kids, you can make different decisions that may not be popular with everybody else because that's your household. But when you're a professional decision maker, when it affects a multitude of people, then we kind of find out what kind of person you are. It's not that easy. So again, complain or compete. Which one are you? Are you one to sit around and complain, or you one, as I said, we said before, I'm an entrepreneur Negro. I love it. 98% of the people in this world are idea people. Oh man, I could do this. I figure that out. I can figure that. 2% of executionists. 2%. So when you part of that 2%, you got to deal with that 98% nonsense. Oh man, that can never happen. Oh man, that dude just doing that. Oh man. But Hatter, only 2% of the people, right? And only less than 1% of the ones are actually successful. 2% of executions, 98% are just idea people. People that think of stuff, people that can't take stuff from the beginning, from conception to finishing it up. They just can't do it. It's not in their DNA. Some people are just vice presidents. I'm sorry. Some people are just COOs. They ain't CEOs. It's what it is. That's why we have predator and prey. God knew what he was doing. God designed. God's smarter than we think he is, Carter. He knew what he was doing. But again, I'm just saying.
And I'm just loving it. And Chris, Chris, I'll sit there and listen to you. What you say? You one of your key points was just talking about not complaining and do something about it. You see that young lady behind me? Chris, thank you for talking all that. You see that young lady behind me? She didn't complain to UNC. Let me help you, Chris, because I know you don't know the history. Because if you knew, you would have tied it right into this. She didn't complain. Chris, let me go back. What you just said, man, is when I tell you it's so great. But Chris, let me go back to you. That woman was already teaching at UNC. She went up for tenure, Chris. She was told that she was accepted. Chris, the trustees didn't like the 1619 project. I know you didn't hear it in the beginning. So they rescinded the tenure. That set a firestorm of social media and everything, Chris. Chris, think about it. She didn't complain. Chris, she didn't even tell us. The political watchdog told us. And the reason the political watchdog told us is because usually it's against the law in Carolina for politicians and politics to get into these academia assignments. She didn't complain. What'd you say, complain? She didn't complain. You know what she did? She got quiet. So she went and prepared a table. She brought Ta-Nehisi Coates. She brought the president of Howard into the meeting. She brought the Ford Foundation chair. She brought the Knight Foundation chair. She brought the MacArthur Foundation chair. Those people there, and hold up, and one anonymous donor, we don't know who that is, brought them to the table and said, look, this money that you invested in me, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it at this PWI. I'm not going to do it at North Carolina. I'm not going to complain, Chris. Chris, you said how you compete. You know why she competed? And this is why I thought you was going to tie it in. Because she a bad-ass woman. She's a bad-ass black woman. Go look at her credentials, Chris. Chris, when I hear the people that I know who's supposed to be up there in academia, they said when she likes E.F. Hutton. She said when Nicole Hannah-Jones speak, I listen. Chris, she did not complain. She let others do it for her. Guess what she started doing? Planning. And I hope this is what you're talking about. She started competing. No, she didn't compete, Chris. She totally dominated. She took her 25 mil from North Carolina and said, we're going to get this money over here at Howard, HBCU, where they're creating a pipeline. So if you have a kid, if Landon has a kid, if Mr. Dash has a kid, if Shanquetta got another kid that want to go to one of these HBCUs, not just Howard. This program is going to extend to all HBCUs. Create a pipeline of new journalists. I'm just saying, Chris, of new young journalists who know how to do this thing the right way. Come on, if you want to.
And Hatter, here's my thing about the situation. She did it at North Carolina. She did so there's different types of people, which is my point. There are people that their genesis is at HBCUs and they make a change. But there's people that go to PWIs and they fight that system and they say, you know what? I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to take all y'all resources and I'm going to take it over here and help our people. We need both, is my point. We need both.
Yes, and I love it. And I love how you, but I know you didn't have the history on her to tie it, but it was a great point. And I'm just trying to see, okay, this community that we in, the Be a Boom Boom, a lot of these parents on here, Chris, have they have kids playing basketball. They have kids doing this, summer basketball. They've been, for the last 25 years, they've been toiling. And this thing is still the same. If you were here 20 years ago and left and went to the moon and came back, summer basketball is still the same grimy, dirty. It's still same grimy. And the reason I found out it can still be so grimy for so long of a time, because these parents are in 3 to 4 year cycles. I'm going to mess with y'all for 4 years, then I'm out. I don't care no more. I know some people who used to watch the Chop Shop extensively. As soon as their son graduated, they don't watch Chop Shop no more. I know several. I can call their ass out, name out right, because I get the analytics. Chris, but how? This is the world that they live in. This is the world that they understand. How can we take... I'm not on here talking about Nicole Hannah-Jones like she's a celebrity. The principles she used, Chris, can be used at this level. Alan Branch told me a long time ago, I never forget it, and it stick on my mind, and I'm going to repeat it again. We walk in the gym and see all of these beautiful black bodies in the gym, but the guy running the whole thing is white. He said, Hatter, this is a white man's business, but a black man game. That bothered me, and ever since then, I try to put myself and the people around me in positions of power in the industry I'm in, so it can be our business and our game. So Chris, give us some steps if you can.
Well, I mean, I think I somewhat walked them down some steps. It's just
No, I'm talking
the
about for
word
this
is
industry.
the
I'm talking
word is
about no.
intentional.
You got to put it where the goats can
For
get
what?
it.
For
I'm
which
talking
one? You
about for
talking
the
about?
summer basketball industry.
Again, that's a tough one, man,
The
because
industry, not the college
I,
coaches.
I understand what you're
Okay.
saying.
All right.
I understand what you're saying. Hear me
Mhm.
out. I'm saying that's a tough one
Okay.
because
I know it's
when you
tough.
say give me some steps, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I use the term intentional,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And I even heard this yesterday
Mm-hmm.
when someone was giving a speech.
Mm-hmm.
They say, hey, man, we know what the oil well is. The oil well is in our kids. We've talked about it before, Adam. We know what oil is. You see Jethro shoot, talking about the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Jethro just shooting around trying to shoot a bird, and
Uh-huh.
all up comes the ground, come the buffalo
Low
crew,
crew.
right? We know, but here's it. We don't have to shoot for it.
Right.
It's right there in
We
the
know where it is.
household.
Right.
It's right there in our neighborhoods. The question is, do you just give it away, or do you understand the value of it? Go over to Saudi Arabia. Go over to Kuwait. Ask me if they understand the value of it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And guess
The
what?
question is,
They
do
ain't
we
gonna let you in.
exactly? So, guess I'm sitting around,
I
eat.
know,
We had a little lunch. We was
I
on the
know what you
turn
was
on the
doing.
ninth,
Yeah.
and guess who walked up next to me?
Who?
And I said, God bless you. You got to come on the chop shop. He said, anytime you want. Mike Boynton.
Yeah.
Who knows who Mike Boynton is?
We
Oklahoma State.
we know who he is. Yeah.
And guess what Oklahoma State did? And guess what kind of contract they gave him? And a kid named Cade Cunningham could have went wherever he wanted. Could have went to Kentucky. Could have went to Duke. Could have went to Carolina. Could have went to Kansas. Went and played in Stillwater, Oklahoma, right? Blessed Mike Davis, 7-year contract, $21 million. Could have went wherever he wanted, Hatter. The oil. Hired his brother.
Chris, you got to repeat
Don't
that one.
complain.
No, no, no,
Don't
no, you no, no, no,
complain.
no, 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 no. You got to this done, man. I know this audience. This done went over some people's head. Bless their heart. They don't, Chris. I've been preaching this. Chris, you said something. Chris, they got mad at me. People got mad at me because I said the high school coach and the summer coach has the power to put all of these coaches in the Final Four. People looking at me like, hey, they ain't gonna do that.
But see, Hatter, that's when people get mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not jumping on Kim Jackson. She said, well, why you always jumping on the parents? Because guess what, parents, you got more control than you think.
That's it.
They're yours.
That's it, Kim.
What you mean, why am I jumping on you?
That's it, Kim.
They're yours.
That's it, Kim.
You're the primary decision maker in your household, I hope. I don't care how fast your kid running football. He don't pay his cell phone bill.
That's
He
a
don't
good
feed
point.
himself. Why
That's a
y'all
good point.
letting 18 or 19 kids control your household because they got a talent?
And
And
Kim
they
know
came
that.
from your DNA. And they
But
came from your DNA. Come
because
on.
you got to understand, Kim, I hope she knows and hope she understands. Kim,
I'm not
we
jumping on them.
talking.
I'm not jumping on them.
No. We talking universal here. And if you doing what you need to do for your kids, you shouldn't say nothing about it anyway. You should agree. It ain't the parents that's doing it. We talking about the parents that's not. All he trying to do is make the parents aware of the power that they have. You can't get mad at the messenger. Huh? I say it every
here's the
day.
thing.
Huh? What?
And here's the thing. I got some natural sun. I'm in Brooklyn.
That's
Man.
all right.
I'm in
Don't
Brooklyn,
worry about
so
it. You
it's
good.
all kind of stuff going on. But here's the other piece to that. Everybody got something to say until it comes to their house.
Mm.
Everybody point fingers at everybody else until it's at their doorstep. And they got 9 million excuses why they made the decision that they made. And you know what I say? Hey, man, it's a personal decision. It's a personal decision what you want to do with your children and everything else. It really is. But certain things, you're just intentional about it. I don't know if my mom talked to me in 1987 if I would have gone to play at TSU and not gone to Villanova. I know one thing, I'm a lot more informed now, right? And there's certain kids, They should go to Duke and play Hatter. I got no problem with that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
got no. That's certain kids that should go to Kentucky. Hey
Yes.
man, I'm not gonna tell you to go to South Carolina State and not go to Villanova. I'm not gonna tell you that.
No.
I'm not
No.
gonna stand in your way.
No.
I'm not.
No.
But that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if Mike Anderson is the head coach of St. John's,
Right.
why you got to send your kid to Syracuse? Why? Why not send him to St. John's? So what makes and kids transfer from Syracuse too? Kids leave that place. Kids leave Duke.
Yeah.
There's no perfect place. The question is, what is your intention as a parent? What is your intention? You want to buy black owned? Choose black owned.
Yeah.
I get it.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tom Ford ain't black owned.
Sure what?
FUBU, and I get it. Guess
Yeah.
what? I ain't wearing FUBU. You can talk,
Right.
we can say whatever you want to, but I'm wearing Tom Ford. I get it. No, I'm being real. I'm being real.
Right.
Black folks don't own that watch you got on right there. They don't own the watches I wear. They don't own the cars I drive.
No, they
There's
own this.
certain decisions
No, I own this
that
one.
are out of our hands. They don't own that shirt you wearing. I get it.
Right.
Everything ain't black owned.
Right.
There's certain things that I have what? Control over.
What you
I
do.
can be intentional. That's all I'm saying. Not
That's
jumping
all.
on people.
That's all.
Telling
No.
where to give,
Kim a
where to-
smart lady,
Come
but sometimes she
It
just
ain't
feels.
about Kim. I'm just saying it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Chris, Chris, I'm glad you, Chris, I think that's great. And parents always trying to do it. And I know it's hard and it look like we parent blaming, but y'all do have, hey, let me tell you something.
Let's forget about the word blame,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Think about it.
Okay. You can use me as an example.
I haven't had kids of my own, but I've had to deal with a lot of kids
Yeah.
and taking them from soup to nuts and help them make decisions. I was with a kid the other day, Steve Chainga. I talked to you about helping him get a job with the Mavericks.
Y'all call
He
me.
works with the Celtics.
Right.
He worked with the Celtics.
Right.
Came through New York. I went up there, had to go see a guy about some crazy stuff, internet storage for the software company we got. And we sat there and we talked and we talked. He's from Africa. He got parents here, but he needed somebody here, right? That looks like him, that understands where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? And he sit there and think about it. He talked to you like, hey man, what should I do? I don't know what to do. Grown man, work for the Celtics. They say they may clear the whole staff out. What's my next move? Real people, real problems. You know what he need, Hatter? Like I look at you, he need a mentor, man.
Yeah.
So if your kids are 8 years old, who's the mentor? The AAU coach? If your kids are 9 years old, who's the mentor? The teacher?
Right.
He's with you every single day.
That's a great point.
You have an unbelievable job to pour into them and put an imprint on them.
Right.
So we shouldn't hold you accountable?
It's a great
Come on,
point.
man. As I said before, when a kid's a super smart kid, everybody parade them around the city. See my baby, look at his report card. My kid going to Harvard. When he a knucklehead, man, that's his daddy's side of the family. That's his mama's side of the family. Well, he the black sheep. We don't want to claim that one. But let that same kid be a knucklehead, right? Be a knucklehead, fighting all of his life, and all of a sudden become a world heavyweight championship or a boxer or MMA guy. Guess where we sitting? Right there in the front row again. What I'm saying is, if the moral fabric of our communities is family. So if we want to change the tide of what's going on, right? My brother never went to college. Neither one of my brothers. One of them went to JUCO, and my other brother never went to college for various reasons. Do you know that all 5 of his kids are getting college degrees? Intentionality, bro. You can look at it 2 ways. You can be a kid that's been abused, and you can abuse when you get older, or you can be a kid that's been abused and says, I'm never gonna do it. Choice, right? I don't pretend to be a professional in which way, the system works, or the mind, the left side of the brain, or the right side of the brain works for that kid. But I know one thing, it's about choices in life. And my brother chose that, you know what? My kids are not going to have to endure what I endured. I don't even know what college will do for them. All I know is I own a barbershop. I had to come up the hard way. I don't want my sons cutting hair. So they're going to go to school so they can have a better life than what I have. So as you're a parent, NFL aside, NBA aside, pro sports aside, which less than 1% of them we play, what are you doing then? Are we all functioning like they gonna play professional sports, Adam? Like, is that the way we all live in our household? I mean, seriously, is that the way we live in our household? Like they all gonna be professional athletes? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come
Man,
on, man.
all I'm thinking about, black power and possibilities. I'm sitting up here thinking
Patty,
about
is it black power or is it black empowerment?
black power, I put it like this: the power that black people have and the possibilities. I keep going. It's Women Rock Wednesday, so I'm always keep going back to Nicole Hannah-Jones. She just blew me away, Chris, because this is only one moment, and I know y'all think this is one moment, but But the ripple effects of what she did, Chris, should be a wake up call for everybody, especially all the people who are talented in a space. I was thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it, man. When we are in positions of power, we have to be able to use our talents, and that's why Chris, I told you to use me as an example. I'm sitting up here. You talked about your brother, and I sit up and just think about the choices. It's 3 men in my life I'm gonna forever be grateful to: Alan Branch, Marlon Sears, and Bill Courtney. I'm gonna forever be grateful. Those 3 black men helped change the course of my next generation and my next generation after. My grandkids gonna grow up expecting to go to get the best education money can buy. And guess what? It's some people that's not educated, got a lot of money too. But guess what? In my house, as in me in my house, we serve the Lord. In me in my house, we gonna go get us some education. So, and I think about that. What you call them? Gatekeepers and gate openers. These guys, listen to me, y'all. I said I'll forever be indebted, because y'all, I don't know if y'all know, Cornell is 1,700 miles away from here. That's why I'm so grateful. It takes 2 plane trips to get here. There's no direct flights. And these guys, with the help of Alan Branch, thought enough to come down here and be interested in a little skinny boy with goggles on. First thing they asked me, send me a transcript. Before they even think about it, send me a transcript. When they saw them transcripts and the SATs and the essay, they said, game on. Chris, my goal, and like you said, you don't have to go to these kind of schools. But my goal is to get the young kids that want to go.
Hattie, you know what drives me crazy when I hear kids say, man, I don't like math. You don't like math?
It's in everything we do.
You like money? You don't like math? Man, I don't think I need to learn that.
Right.
Hey, man, do you understand how to... There was a time, if people don't know what the sliding scale is, right?
Okay.
Because we talk about, again, I coached for a very long time, and I've seen this business evolve. I've been a product of it. I coached it, and I understand it through and through. They had what they had. You had to take the SAT to get into college, right? And then back in the day, it was a way to exclude you. Then John Thompson and John Chaney, George Raveling and Nolan Richardson, the 4 titans, we need to do a documentary on those guys, changed the game.
Yes, sir.
They created the sliding scale. Now, people can say, oh, that was an easier way for athletes to get in. No, white kids take advantage of the sliding scale too. See, it ain't just for black kids, because when we help us, we help everybody else too. That's what people don't understand. It's not just about helping us.
Preach it,
Okay?
Chris.
When you help the least of us, you help the most of us. People don't understand that. That's why the meek shall inherit the earth.
Right.
I don't want to preach today.
Preach it, Rev. Preach it, Rev.
I don't want to preach today.
Come
That's why
on.
the Republican stuff is BS.
Yeah.
Don't say you're for Christianity, but don't understand the principles of Christianity.
Yes. And,
See what I'm saying?
excuse me, and humanity.
Don't
But
understand.
keep going. And humanity.
humanity.
But keep going.
And so what I'm saying is, when you understand that, you can get to a point where, and from a sports perspective, if I said, Robert Hatter, you were in Houston in the 90s, we look at these black quarterbacks running on the football field right now. Who was a quarterback of the Oilers back in the day that had to go to the CFL, played at the University of Washington?
Warren Moon.
Had to go to dude, people don't understand what them dudes had to endure. You can't read a playbook. Dude, do you know how humiliating? People got to understand football, right? Everything in the center is where everybody thinks. The middle linebacker, the center, the quarterback. Even the fullback where the block. They don't have two backs like they used to back in the day.
Right.
All the thinking positions. The middle linebackers usually of the other hue. The center is usually of the other hue. And the quarterback.
Yes.
Even in sports. So they wouldn't let us sit back there. People don't know who John Gilliam is. Like, people don't understand how hard it was to break that. USC, talk about Sam Cunningham and Bear Bryant. Guess what the quarterback was? Black back then. That's my trailblazing, bro.
Hey.
So what I'm saying is, you can complain, you can compete. There's always going to be barriers of entry, bro. I'm just telling you. And guess what? We got barriers of entry in our own community. Somebody educated me the other day about colorism in our own community.
The darker skin and the lighter skin.
Don't get me started now. We talking about them.
Yes.
In our own community, colorism.
Yes, sir. You preaching, Rev.
I'm just saying. I'm not getting preachy today. Oh man, they let the quarterback, the light skinned dude, play because he light skinned. That's why they let him play quarterback.
Hey, Chris, what about this? Chris, I'm gonna be messy. But what about this?
Favor my brown skin, ain't you? Can you tap that white girl for me? My milk of magnesia. Oh. After the devil made you, he broke the mold. Well, maybe you and I could.
I'm sorry, Chris. I had to go there. Keep going.
That's my boy, good friend Chris Spencer. That's my man.
Great dude. Great man. Great man, Chris.
I was quote unquote trying to be in Hollywood, and he has blown up. He's making all types of series. I mean, like, he's doing amazing things. Took an opportunity because people don't understand something about Hollywood. I know it's a sports show.
No.
And you got to watch Real Husbands of Hollywood because that's one of my favorite shows. Like,
I never watched it, Chris. I guess I got to go back and watch it.
You got to watch it. It's hilarious. It's the only thing I think Kevin Hart's funny in. But you got to watch it. And they had a specific series, and I know this because I had an ex-girlfriend back in the day. They used to write for Martin and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
And I forget the other show. And all of the writers used to be white. If you look at Good Times and all those shows, they're black shows about our culture, but no black writers in the room. Tell me what that says. If you have white coaches in the room coaching all black kids, how can they know about our culture? How can they know about our culture if you don't have somebody representative in the room? I'm not even saying I got anything else. I got some cool brothers that are white.
No. But you're stating a fact. These facts. Come on.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
So you say, oh man, I'm not gonna send him there just because he's black. Well, you gonna send them there and they don't have no black people there that don't understand that? You know, I had a coach one time that says, hey Chris, we need to take them this place right here because they have real good cornbread. You know, they got good cornbread there. Like, you think he likes cornbread? I looked at him like, oh my, but that is coach. And guess what? Meant it with all sincerity, was trying to be accommodating. And I looked at him and said, are you serious? Dude, now think about if I'm not in the room, Hatter. Take me out the room. I'm just telling you some real stuff, bro.
Keep going. You did good.
That goes on. But think about it at the NFL level. That stuff's going on there too. But I want to get back to Warren Moon. All them dudes, the Vince Youngs, the McNairs, God bless his soul. All them dudes that are playing quarterback that are running around, Lamar Jackson. Do they know who Randall Cunningham was and what he had to endure?
James
The white
Harris.
media, they talk about Osaka and what she dealing with. Imagine what them dudes had to deal with back then, bruh. In the most popular sport in America. Hey, man, if you want to come in, you got to go play wide receiver. Do you know how many quarterbacks we probably could have had in the NFL that look like me and you? If that wasn't industry standard or industry practice? Man, I'm telling you some real stuff, bro. It's what's going on today, man.
Wow.
It's what's going on today. But to your point about I'm just saying, like, you know, complain and compete. And I'm just looking at it in sports, and you asked me about summer basketball, right? And you're talking about summer basketball.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. When you got a kid, because I've coached elite players and I've coached pros in college. Most of the time, you know when you got a pro. Most of the time. And I can't say really in high school. But when you coach him in college, you're like, okay, that dude the pro right there. Like that dude, there's something different about that guy. The same way you go watch little 6-year-olds and you look at the 6-year-olds, you be like, yo, that dude right there has been everybody in here. Well, it's that glaring when you go watch older guys too. I don't care if they go to Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, Texas, whatever. You can tell when one dude is better than the rest of them guys. The same way y'all can see, you know, one of the guys, the most maligned guy of all, that's unbelievably talented. I don't care who said it, is Paul George. They can say what they want. Paul George is a bad dude. And about, you know, just like Charles Barkley was a bad dude, he didn't win nothing either. But Paul George is a bad guy. When you see a guy that's supremely talented like that, you just know, right? My point is that when you look at youth sports, you have to ask yourself, you have to know the numbers. You know what I meant to, I was intending to send to you today, had I sent you the other thing about African American population. I meant to send you the NCAA guidelines on how they break down scholarships based on height. How many kids from college basketball, from a height perspective, are in playing Division I? It will blow your mind. How many kids under 6'3" are playing college basketball?
You got that information? You got that information now?
I'll put it up there tomorrow when I'm back. When I'm in a good spot, I'll send it there so I make sure, because it'll take me too long to find it.
Okay.
People don't realize that when you're trying to give them advice, right? And you should call me a dream killer. I'm like, I'm not killing dreams. Here's what I want to do.
No.
I want to redirect.
Chris,
I want to redirect the blessing, because what I'm saying is, you're a kid that can go play basketball, and you can get a scholarship possibly, or forget about get a scholarship. You fighting all your life and not doing your work and not understanding the process to get a scholarship to Wright State, when you actually can do your work and understand that you can go play Division II at Washington University, which is one of the best universities in the country, or Caltech. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to understand the rules of the game. What's a good school? What's a bad school? Well, because they on TV. That doesn't make it a good school or a bad school, man. Do you understand what U.S. World News and Report? Do you understand how colleges recruit? You know what I'm saying? Not colleges. Who Jobs, Chase Bank, and all them people you go give your money to, who they recruit from and why? Do you know the analytics on that? Or are you just going to AAU games, still paying your money and still being a consumer? A consumer. Nike, paying $20 to get an Under Armour association, paying Southwest, paying Burger King, paying Maggiano's, paying Marriott. Are you just a consumer? Or are you investing your dollars into giving your kid a productive future? Are you investing your money? I don't want to say you're wasting it, because you're doing it for your child. But what's your mindset? What's your intentionality behind jumping on them planes? Everybody about to go jump on a plane and go see their kids play somewhere. Right? What you going for? What's your intention? Why is your kid doing it? Because a whole lot of people making money, Hatter. There's a whole lot of people making money off what you doing. What you doing it for? I know why they're doing it. But what are you doing it for?
Wow. Chris, what are you doing it for? That's each to each individual parent. I know what I was doing it for. So you saying parents got to be intentional about having a reason why you're doing this. Is that what you're saying? Parents have a plan.
Have a plan.
Okay, I got you.
When you go to think about this. What is your metric on whether your son is getting better or not? When you go to college or when you go to high school, they call grades. That's how you know they're doing good or bad.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the metric. You got to see your average. If you got an A, you're smart. That's the way we're conditioned to understand to separate, the good piece of the meat from the fat. That's how we do it. Well, in sports, how do you do that? Well, you just listen to what some guy like Alan Branch say, or Jimmy say he good or he ain't good.
Mm.
That's not always the way.
Right.
That's not,
Right.
and that's not their job. And
Yeah.
they can't see every kid.
That's right.
So if you're the 100th ranked kid in Houston, what's your plan?
Mm.
That's what I want to know. If you're a kid and your kid is ranked 95th in the city of Houston right now,
Mhm.
what's your plan? To prove Jimmy Hicks wrong? That ain't no plan. What kind of plan is that?
It's a great point. Great point.
I'm not saying don't play basketball. You never heard me say don't play basketball. But what's
No.
the plan?
No. Because it's
'Cause
good
you
to
gonna
play
leave it up to the
basketball.
kid to have a plan?
And Chris,
Here's my thing. That's why I look at the parents. You gonna leave it up to the AAU coach? What you mean? You gonna leave it up to who? The pastor? Who you gonna leave it up to? That's your child. What's the plan? You gonna leave it up to the kid, a 15-year-old kid, to have a plan? Come on, man. Gotta have a plan. Gotta have a plan, man.
and Chris, I am so glad you brought that up. Like I said, we didn't even get a chance to talk about but we can go. But I just when I have a chance to have you on here, we have these kind of conversations, man. These kind of conversations to be need had because I know everybody want to be finding Jim. It's live period right now. Everybody on here talking about how many my son about to go here. My son, safe travels. By the way, I should have said this at the beginning of the show. Safe travels. To pray for safe travels for all the families, all the kids, the referees, the officials, the shoe companies, everybody who's traveling. Because I know a lot of people traveling today, and some people traveled yesterday, back and forth to these events. I'm traveling today, so it's traveling grace to everybody out there, Chris. Because this weekend, Chris, first weekend of the live period, parents. And Chris, I'm seeing where some parents eliminating themselves right now. I'm seeing where some parents are eliminating their kids right now. They're being eliminated. And the reason I said getting eliminated is because I'm watching the actions that they're doing. I see some stuff that guys that we try to say, okay, but all this pressure, what's going on, kids talking back to coaches, kids talking back to officials. Chris, this is a big weekend. This weekend can change some kids' life. Some kids can get their education paid for. What's the most important things about this first live period? Coaches ain't been able to come up for this first live period. First live period where they have actual with their summer teams. First live period with their summer teams.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, put in a year, yeah.
Yeah, what do you
2 years.
got?
Was it a year or 2 years?
What advice you have for the parents?
Listen, man, listen. It's the same as I would say normally about the way you would just function in your as hell. Play every possession. And I tell people, play the box score. See, unfortunately, we live in a community, this is what me and Alan Branch are trying to change, that people only look at things in points and rebounds. When the NBA looks at the entire box score and gives you a plus or minus or give you a rating. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not even looking at it the way that the place that you're trying to go, we don't even look at the game the same way they do. Mm-hmm. But and all we want to do is like, hey, soon as he gets X number of dollars, we put it on Instagram. We ready to hit send right away. because that's the culture that's been created. And we think, and I keep telling people, you can't Instagram your way into a scholarship, man. You can't post your way into the pros. It's just not set up that way. It may seem that way. It may seem sexy. It may seem cool. Ask the dudes that are there. They'll tell you. Ask them if they just post their way. Hey man, if I just
But
if I
most
just keep
people
sending all these
don't
posts,
have a chance to talk to them guys.
I agree, and it's a shame. But to me, it's common sense. For instance, you asked me a question. If there's 350 Division I schools, right, and they only give out an average of 3 scholarships per team per year, somebody do the math of that. There's a 500,000 kids running around, and if you look at college, if you look at the guys that are actually eligible to get a scholarship, I'd probably say 100,000 of those are seniors that are playing. 350 times 3 is all that has a chance to get a Division I scholarship. Because there's only so many room, Hatter. It's only 13 on each team. On top of that, right, you got this damn transfer portal that's taking away scholarships. So now what are we talking about? All them people running around the country.
Jimmy, look at your text.
All them people running around the country.
I just sent you an important text, but keep
All
going.
them people running around the country. Hundreds of thousands. And only 1,000 can get a Division I scholarship.
Wow.
Now you tell me, I don't care if you wear a sneaker company, shoes, or whatever. I don't care how many times you post on Instagram or who offers you scholarship. We're saying a little bit over 1,000 kids have a chance to play Division I. You're gonna tell me that you're not gonna go in there with a plan? Hatter, you feel me coming from, Hatter?
I'm listening.
You're not gonna go in there with a plan.
And then sometimes your plan don't work.
There's something wrong with the way I'm thinking, and I'm in the game, and they laughing. They shaking their head. Coaches are like, hey, man, I get paid to recruit. I don't get paid to teach these parents how to be parents. I don't get paid to tell them to weigh the odds. You bet on black, you bet on red. That's your business, it's your money. You know what the dealer get paid to do in Vegas? Deal. That's what he get paid to do, right, Hatter? The dealer get paid to deal.
Deal. That's a good point. That's a good point.
What the dealer get paid to do?
Deal.
Jimmy, did he tell you, hey, man, you want to hold? Hey, man, you might want to hit that. Does the dealer get paid to do that? That's what the college coach is. He the dealer.
Jimmy, come on in, Jimmy, because I know I got to leave at 2 on the dot. So you got 16 minutes to talk. I got to get out of here and catch this plane.
Hold on, I'm listening.
Yeah, come on, Jimmy.
Oh man, we I don't know what all topics you covered today. Well, let's get right now. I know Chris preaching about.
You got 15 minutes. That's all you got.
Reality. And them people, I can get 5 minutes. All I gotta do is let you leave me alone. Let me talk. Hell, that's all you gotta do. I get tired of hearing myself talk if you just let me just go long enough. Remember that. I will get tired of hearing myself talk. My attention span is very little. So now, if I can tell Chris was talking about installing some reality into a lot of the parents. And the thing is, Chris, as you know, you've been on that side of the fence. So a lot of this stuff is installed and they are programmed. I look at each kid's brain as a computer when you get it from Best Buy. When you first buy a computer, there's no Excel on there. There's no Word Office suite on there. There's no Adobe on that computer. It's whatever you upload onto that computer is what it's going to operate and going to run. So a lot of people are in right there before you get them as a college coach that have uploaded so quote unquote viruses into the mindsets of a lot of the kids and a lot of the parents uploaded viruses. So as those are uploaded, then that's what they're going to operate. That means you as a college coach, when you get them, what the first thing you try to do? You got to deprogram and reinstall. You got to take all them software off, that bad software, or put a Norton antivirus on that computer so it can run right. And it still may be running too slow. That's when so that's what I guess I'm laying a stage or a bridge to segue regarding what you were saying. So is that kind of like, what happens? At what point do the teachings start to saturate from some of the parents? You just said a while ago, coaches, you get paid to coach. You ain't got to teach them to make their decision on red or black, or do their studies on the numbers of scholarships, or to understand whether a visit is really an unofficial visit now, ain't even unofficial visit no more. People just rolling up to colleges, taking pictures, and making you think that, he's taking unofficial or so and so. You know that ain't taking advantage of the meaning of the word. So, where do we go now, Chris?
Walk, unmute it. Unmute, Chris.
Oh, my bad. Give me the question again. Give me that last question again. I had the ambulance coming by.
Oh.
What was the question?
I heard everything
he said. I hit the last piece.
The question is, bottom line is, okay, where do we go from here with the teachings? Okay, how do you get to the parents? What to learn? Where's the educating? Are we educating properly? Chris must be watching on the internet feed instead.
Man, he was doing good, man. I don't know what happened. Whoa.
Yeah, I got bad connection, man.
No, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
I can't answer because
we can hear you.
Bad connection. I can't understand him.
Oh, you can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chris? Okay. Well,
yeah. Anyway, but anyway, so we I'm quite sure you guys covered the NBA and.
No, we didn't even talk about it. So you can take us on out.
Y'all talking NBA today?
No, we didn't have time. We had bigger stuff to talk about.
Chris, dude, Cliff Paul showed up and showed out last night. Cliff,
yeah.
You know what? And I said it yesterday. That really came from a place in my heart. I said there was no reason to play Greek Freak last night in game 1. It was no reason in the world.
But he was ready to play.
I understand that. Guess what? There's a lot of guys that was ready to play, and the upper management to hold their ass out, even in these playoffs. A lot of guys.
So
ready
if
to
you're healthy, you shouldn't play.
Donovan Mitchell, remember Donovan Mitchell?
I asked you a question. You saying if I'm healthy and ready to go, I shouldn't play? Yeah,
but guess what? They send the doctor, they hold tight. Remember Donovan Mitchell? Remember that? He was ready to go and told the media, "I'm be back. I'm gonna be there for that game." They like, "Oh, no. Sit your butt down one more game. We don't need you this game right here." And guess what? They won the series. And that was the first series. I'm just saying, not to say they had no reason to play.
I'm glad he played.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
And you know what? Game 2 now has more of a sense of urgency than it would have had he not played game 1. For Milwaukee, game 2, it's not a must win, but they really need to win. Because if they lose game 2, Phoenix can still win in Milwaukee. Milwaukee can still win in Phoenix. But if they can't go, they got to win this game. The thing is, let me tell you what I saw. I was watching a portion of that game, and Holiday wasn't himself in a portion of the game. You saw one play, he let a dude on defense, he just basically gave up and just let a dude just shoot a layup on a steal. Holiday he seemed preoccupied. He seemed he didn't say he was playing. He had that what's the name of the summer league over there that they do in California every year, out of the summer league?
Drew League.
He said he was in Drew League mode in previous games. He wasn't in Drew. He was in no excuses program mode.
Boring game last night to me.
Did you? So you saw it too. You saw him.
Yeah.
He's and his numbers show it. Guess what? He almost had a triple double. But if you watch that game, he was unenthused. And then guess what? That coach don't get no mulligan from me. Why the hell did he have Portis guarding Chris Paul in those back-to-back possessions that broke the game back open when after Milwaukee had closed the gap down to single digits, and he put Portis on him. He'd hit 2 threes in a row. I mean, one time Portis made a mixtape out
Was
of
it
his
a
head.
pick and roll or he just put pick?
No, it was right on him, one-on-one, no pick and roll. He broke him down one time and then did the finger roll, went around, did the finger roll. He broke him at the key. The second time, he hit him with one and then shot the 3 on him. What? And then they put PJ Tucker on him the next trip down the court after that.
See,
But it was just some adjustments.
I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I didn't even watch the game. I just watched parts of it. It was so boring. I just started watching something else. Somebody told me to watch Yellowstone. I'm telling you, I watched anything last night. This stuff, I mean, I knew it was going to be boring, but I just didn't. It's going to be hard pressed for me to watch the next game.
I mean, but you know what?
I'm talking about me.
You know what?
I'm
You
just
know
different.
what? I'm not going to lie to you.
Mm-hmm. Hard pressed.
This one of those series, and I said it before, whoever wins the series is great. Great story for Chris Paul if he wins, because Chris Paul now has captivated the hearts of the nominal basketball fan. I mean, the neutral guy, you respect him what CP3 is doing right now. Now, at the same time, you want not just CP3, you like him what Monty Williams is doing. That's a hell of a story. Just from 4 years ago or whatever, when his wife got killed. You know, you think about upper management, the GM of the organization. You know, his story. No experience, go right into the front office, and now look at what. So that means now other organizations will look and say, wait a minute, we don't need to go and get some type of numbers geek to do a GM. Now we can get it like these other guys. Look at New York. They went and got a new GM. They made the playoffs. It doesn't take all this E equals MC square to get through this stuff. You see, it's common sense. So guys, now that's the story for Phoenix. But Milwaukee, it would be great because a Houstonian, not a guy that played for the Houston Rockets, but a Houstonian would be able to get a ring, even though he's a reserve on the team. And that's Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson, he's from H-Town, homeschooled, went to North Carolina, won a championship there. And so he's on the bench for the Milwaukee Bucks. And guess what? He's, if they win, he get a ring.
So that count when he get a ring, ain't played a second, but he get a ring, but he got a ring.
Alan,
I'm just asking.
If you're part of the team.
No, I'm telling you, you get a ring.
If you're part of the team, you're damn right. Because you're part of the practice.
But
you're part of the
brag
struggle.
about, I got a ring, but I ain't never played. I got you.
No,
I'd rather be a player than to sit on that bench. I'd rather be a player. I'd rather be a player.
Ain't but eight guys gonna be players.
Yeah, but that's
ain't but 8 gonna be players.
I'd rather be
eight gonna be players.
I better be an 8. I'd rather be one of them. I'd rather be an 8.
But everybody can't be one of them. You got 15 on the team. So know what you're saying. Think about it. Every team in the NBA, that's roughly half the team.
But that kills your argument talking about guys are not great if they don't have a ring. If guys who are not great
says that?
15.
Who says that? I didn't never subscribe to that. I've never subscribed to that theory.
I'm going to leave it alone.
Never subscribe to that theory. I say point guards. Remember that. Now, point guards have to get those W's for the validation. Or point guard, every point guard you can think about, their validation transpired once they reached the mountaintop.
Starting point guard, because the one on the bench didn't play.
I'm talking about middle point guard. It happened with Allen Iverson. Remember, he was a ball hog. He turned the ball over. He did all this stuff, and until he got to the finals, to the mountaintop, he didn't overcome and win a championship, but he got there. A la Gary Payton, he got there. And so those are things. Just to name a couple of them. Those guys, when you get there. Chris Paul, he's playing with house money right now. Chris Paul don't even have to win the championship. He don't have to. It's gonna be people. Guess what? The people that were crushed on Chris Paul at this point, based on what they've done this season, is people that really didn't like Chris Paul anyway.
They knew he always could do it. He just kept getting hurt.
No. The narrative is a little different.
I didn't never say nobody. I ain't never heard nobody say he couldn't do it. He just got hurt every time. Go look at it. Hurt.
But the narratives was he's old, he's
But
washed
he's
up.
healthy now.
But then guess what? So that could apply wherever he was beforehand, when they still was saying he's old and washed up. See, washed up goes on top of, it's like adding icing to the cake of being old. When they say you old, that's one thing. When they say you washed up, that's motivation. That's motivation. When a young fella come at you and say, man, he old. They got a young fella telling y'all I was old and washed up. Now, if they just said I was old, I'd have took that and ran. But when they told y'all I was washed up, that's motivation right there, man. So Chris Paul had that motivation, and that's what you see. But anyway, going on, we get ready to land the plane shortly. I think somebody, Mindy, asked, how about the Mastro? How about the Mastro? Where's Rod Wells at? Anybody seen Rod Wells? How the Mastro do last night? Was down 6-2. Was down 6-2 to the Oakland A's in the second inning. Walked that lead down. Walked it down. Astros now done won 53 games this season. 53 games. Ain't but one team in baseball have won more games than the Astros. Ain't but one. And guess who it ain't, Hatter? Guess who it ain't? It ain't the Dodgers. Guess who it ain't? It ain't San Diego. Guess who it ain't? It damn sure ain't the Yankees. Guess who it ain't, Hatter? Guess who it ain't?
I can't believe Wendy, man.
Guess who it ain't?
I can't believe Wendy.
Them Astros, ooh, man. Them dudes fun to watch, man. I'm telling y'all, they playing Oakland A's again today. You guys, this is a perfect time to get out to the Minute Maid if you're in Houston to go and check out. They call it the Juice Box. That's the nickname for the baseball stadium. Great ambiance. You don't have to stay there for the whole game. You go there and you give yourself about 4 innings, 5 innings, and if you're not a baseball person, and get on up out of there. Miss the traffic. But that's the thing. Shout out to the Mastro. They are now 4.5 games up in first place over Oakland, which is cool. Remember, they got the Yankees coming in town this weekend. And guess what?
They got the Yankees?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got something for their ass, too. Got something for them. Astros should give out, they should have a promo to give out little trash cans. They should have gave out a little bit of trash cans for everybody that came, the first 500.
Yankees going to sweep the Astros.
In what?
This weekend.
In what? In what topic? In what category? In errors? And so that's...
Hey, you talking about Karen Rose. I used to like the Astros, man. I'm just against Mindy and against Jimmy. Secretly, I like them, but I don't want to chill with them.
No,
I don't want to.
We don't need you to jank him right now.
No. I got to tell him the truth. He already know. He was in the game with me. I'm in there hollering like but they had Verlander. See, I tell y'all what. When Verlander get back, I might. I just like Verlander, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But Mindy, she always got something to say about them Astros. Jimmy and who else? Sonia and all of them. They make, That's why I can't cheer for them. But secretly, I love Dusty Baker, though. I ain't going to lie. I love Dusty Baker. Hey, Dusty, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about ownership. Now keep going. Okay, let's go. All right.
By the way, 4 Astros made the All-Star game. And 4 Astros made the All-Star game, by the way. 4 Astros made the All-Star game. That's cool. And we are getting ready to land this plane. Thanks to Wesley Yates Jr. for giving us the news. USA Basketball 19U team won by 72 points today after beating Australia on yesterday.
Do they go again? Another game?
Yes, another game.
Okay.
They're in pool play, I think. They're in pool play right now.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. Make sure you go over to rcsports.com, and we have the schedules posted for the GMI right on the front of the website. Or you go to the gmfcares.com website, gmfcares.com website. And the schedule is also posted there for the GMI. The showcase games.
What's GMF mean? Foundation.
George McClellan Foundation.
Okay.
That's the name of the foundation that operates the George McClellan Invitational. Mm-hmm. Once again, we're going to talk about the GMI on tomorrow and got a preview and got some players to watch, some games to watch. It's some really, really nice matchups on the slate. And a lot of people thought that GMI was left on the side of the road for dead. But guess what? Their schedule looks pretty doggone tasty, considering we have one location for the most part. And it's a lot of teams from locally and well.
I'm glad I never hear them people. But I know you here because you out there with them. I wish a person would come talking about left for dead. Why would they thought it was left for dead? I mean, I know I got to go, but why they looking at me crazy? But why would people think this left for dead? This is a lie. I mean, why?
Selling points. And that's something, bookmark that for tomorrow.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
That's possible.
I got to find me some Wi-Fi tomorrow. I got to find me some Wi-Fi tomorrow to make it happen. But I'm going to work on it, y'all.
We're getting in tomorrow. But anyway, make sure, guys, you share the show on the way out the door. We're going to end like we're supposed to today, on time. So we'll see you guys in 22 hours. Chop shop. Peace.
All right. I'm out.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.